Let's get to, sorry to cut you off, Scott. Let's get to Sector Spotlight because I want to see if this strategy applies particularly to this stock, which will be oil services. And I want to hit on this because you saw the OIH rallied 4% on Tuesday. We saw an analyst from BMO saying that he expects companies to be very optimistic in their upcoming earnings report. Oil prices holding up really well at around $93. Have you seen enough support to want to go long here, or do you think you'll be shorting like the rest of your strategy?
Well, if you talk about the easy trade, on Monday we had that reversal, break below the pivot, come back above the red dog reversal. That was the buyable strategy. Yesterday, nice day, you could add to it, but now we're seeing this macro descending trend line that we need to see how it's dealt with. And if you look at the OAHs, I'll show you. Here you are. This was that day we tried to break below and held. You buy it here with a stop there. If you did so, you got paid yesterday. Now it's opening above this resistance, but this is going to be very hard to get through on the first time, this 150 area. Look at this descending trend line that's been intact since the highs. We'll see how we handle this. If we get there and you sell into that, then all of a sudden it holds higher, goes sideways, then maybe we bust through, but I don't think that happens today.
Because there are a lot of fundamental reasons why this sector could hold up really well. None the least is that all these articles about fracking being bad, and perhaps oil companies are going to have to go more green and look for better equipment, and that would lead to, say, the Halliburtons of the world that have a lot of green equipment. It's not even a product refresh. It's a totally different product style. It's a whole different product right there. And if we look at Halliburton in particular, up over 5% on Tuesday, it's one of the cheapest. It's a little bit more expensive than Baker Hughes, but it's still cheaper than, say, a Schlumberger.
I like the chart. I like the fundamentals. I think it's one of those. Nobody. It's just if you're going to be long stocks in position for a later in the year rally or something that has followed through. This broke this descending channel yesterday. It's right near these highs. It's well above the 200-day. It's now above some of the other moving averages. For an investor, this is one to own if you want to be in this group.
And what about National Oilwell Varco? It was interesting because that was up almost 6%, but I don't know if it has the same kind of strong fundamentals as a Halliburton.
Technically, I just looked at it before. Looks sort of similar, where it is coming from a little bit lower, but it held the 200-day where you saw the OHs went down. So for the group, it's showing strength. Nice day yesterday for cash flow. Has some room to about 78 before it deals with its descending trend line. So it's actually a work in progress where this too could be an investment, and at times you can get cash flow as a trader like you did yesterday. But right now, again, short-term, those descending channels are going to be tough to get through.
But long-term investor, check out Halliburton. All right, let's hit on Weatherford because the chart's definitely not the best. Year-to-date, it's down 20% compared to, say, Halliburton, up 20%. But is there any value to a laggard play here, a catch-up play?
I hate laggard plays, especially when the leaders, are still trying to prove themselves. So laggards to me are just trades. And if you look at Weatherford right now, you'll see look how much lower it is. It's below these key moving averages. Maybe you get a move back.
Any cash flow trade there that you could take advantage of?
I think you had some room to about 19 to maybe 20, and then you're going to have a lot of resistance here. I think there are better things out there. It's going to need more time to prove itself. Go with the leaders, not the laggards right now.
And real quick, one of the most popular I want to hit on Baker Hughes, up about 3.5% yesterday. Not as much as its peers. Do you like the stock like you like a Halliburton?
Let's take a quick lookie. BHI. Nice tight range. At least you have a tradable pattern to go against. Held this 65 level well above the 200-day. I think it's got to start getting above 72 to break this area before it can go to highs. But this too is in the game that if you need to choose to be in this group and you want to be in this group, those three stocks are the ones to buy for a better move later this year.
So that was Halliburton, Baker Hughes, and Schlumberger. Was that the third?
Schlumberger, but we didn't talk about that.
We didn't talk about it, but is that the one you were talking about?
NOV, I think, is the one that you mentioned. So let's take a quick look at SLB since we talked about it. And here it is, SLB, one more time. Go to the daily. You will see that, oops, you know what? This is the daily. Sorry. This too held the 200-day. It has a small descending channel here. This one, if it starts to get above this, what is this, 85 area, could be good for some cash flow and get back to 90. And this too, could
individual stocks to look at.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks so much for that, Scott. We will be right back with